Hello, hello, and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to our timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Mark-Angela Lyons, Mal for short. I'm not bad, just my initials spelled that way. I am a professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 25 plus years in service at the time of this timeless recording, author of 2 books, Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch, as well as Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version of Words of Grace available. It's in chakra chapters. It's clean, it's pristine, it's very, very Kindle, but the original PDF, the original ebook, which is a visual spectrum of chakra power, is available over on patreon.com, as well as Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch in our online store. They just gave us that about a month or so ago, and I'm really enjoying it. We got a lot of cool stuff over there. You can shop without being a subscriber. You can even follow the public content that I'm posting over there without being a subscriber. Some of my subscribers, though, do get one or both of those books as part of their benefit package, depending on which level they subscribe on. But all of my subscribers have access to 3 benefits in common. Number 1, they get a daily check-in pretty much every single day when I send them an unlisted, Mercury's retrograde at the time of this recording, an unlisted YouTube live stream link where we chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a healing, a little something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start the day, considering what I do for a living and I'm moving. We just ordered a pod. Oh, I wonder if it comes with a Sutherland. Not everybody's going to get that, but if you did, you're welcome. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. There is no extended for this reading, but there are a lot of them, and they're all relationships reading based. They also get an extensive discount with private sessions with me, whether spiritual counseling, half-hour power, a reading, Zoom, in person, any of that. They get a nice, chunky little discount off on that as long as they remain a subscriber. I love it so much. We have 2 7-day free trials available for Seeker and Human, our first 2 levels, so a good way to dip a toe for free for 7 days, but everyone who has done that has stayed a subscriber for at least a month to get the discount, because why not? Yeah, I'm good at what I do. I've been doing this a very, very, very long time, and I'm Venus conjunct Mercury and Libra, 3rd house, chatterbox. And so glad to be serving there, glad to be serving here. Hey, as a Virgo sun sign, I'm just glad to be serving. So if you want to catch a little bit more of what we got going on, go click the link. Just look at the menu, check it out. The menu, and come check it out, and come Patreon on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lions, Mark-Angelo Lyons, but you could just call me Mal, and considering the amount of creative chaos I am living through with this move from Holbrook, Long Island to Saratoga Springs, New York, it's a bit much, and I have to say my patrons have been very, very supportive. They're getting a lot of behind-the-scenes content, but enough about that. Let's talk about us, shall we? We'll do some explanation for the new Libras and the cross-watchers, then we'll get to the divination. This one's a little bit different than what I'm usually doing in a timeless chakra reads. There are a bunch of them on the channel. This time we're only using 10 cards. Let me tell you what's going to hit the table. We're doing a 3-level of power reading. Essentially, in this case, your life purpose, but through the lenses of work, career, and vocation, so you get a little bit clarity about each one of those. For each of those levels of power, work, career, vocation, you're going to get 3 cards in common. You're going to get 3 Caroline Mace archetype cards, and my SS PhD, who I learned about the 3 levels of power from. There is one of her videos in the description box. What else? Oh yeah, the 8 chakra system I learned from her, an anatomy of the spirit. That's why we're starting with something to talk about what's going on in the 8th chakra, work, career, and vocation, as well as sacred contracts itself. I mean, this deck is a companion to her work in life purpose and sacred contracts, which I love that book. All of her work has been amazing for me. So once we get those 3 down, we're going to put these 9 cards face down all together, but we'll look at the next 4 chakras down. crown, third eye, throat, and heart, internal, yinternal, feminine energy, goddess energy, with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, one card each. For the inside stuff, work, career, vocation, we'll look at the lower three chakras, solar plexus, sacrum, and root, with the Mythic Tarot. All Greek mythology, really my heart's language, Greek mythology apparently. Relationships in the physical world, looking at ourselves from the outside, maybe us from the inside, looking at people, places, and things in the world, including corporations and industries and all of that, including our relationship to ourself in the world, how we present ourselves, who we want to be and who we don't want to be. And then once all of those are looked at, we will get a Matt Kahn healing mantra to help what? Heal, bring it into alignment, alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to gold, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy, our fear to love, shifting from illusion to truth is what those archetypes are about. We'll get there. And cross-watchers, you're welcome on my channel, but take the opportunity to get the insight, the understanding, the sympathy and empathy for the Libra you are cross-watching for, and maybe you apply some of the mantra, or maybe there's stuff mirrored here, as there often is when cross-watchers are involved, to bring yourself into alignment, to become, well, not just for you to become, but for you to help the Libra you are cross-watching for, as well as the entire collective, myself included, to become happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser versions of ourselves in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, for the well-being of all. And I can't see anything wrong with that. It seems like a pretty clear contract. So, I guess that's our explanation. Let's move on to divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will, and I will do my best to get into the still point, the shift between explanation and divination, because I will help anybody heal, grow, learn, evolve, alchemize, shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, to live in a more golden timeline, taking everybody else who's willing to go along with them. Why not? Sounds like a good plan, sounds like a good gig. Let's get into that still point, and at your leisure, please take a nice deep breath. Oh, here we go. Still point. Pantheonic override. Here we go. A place for everything. And everything in its place, put all where it belongs, in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, on behalf of us, Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers, what's going on in the 8th chakra for work? First level of power, survival in the world. What's going on in our 8th chakra for our career, our hunger, our passion, our thirst, what sustains us creatively, and what's going on in our vocation, our spiritual calling, our mystical, spiritual power in all of this. 8th chakra dominant, 3rd level of power, visionary intuition, really seeing it from the satellites for this Libra Collective work, career, vocation read. Now, how did you jump out? Which one are you, just in case you pop up later? We'll see. So we're keeping these face down. We're going to get 3 Daughters of the Moon, same thing, and then we'll get 3 Mythic face down, and then we'll flip them over, work, then career, then vocation. Please take a nice deep breath. Can you tell I love what I do? Still point. My goddess's override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. Put all where it belongs. In time and space. So soft. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. My beloved goddesses, what's going on for us Libra collectives? Heart, throat, third eye, crown in our work. How about our career? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, level of power, dominant, our hunger, our passion, our thirst. Ooh, that one came right out. Lovely. And what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown in our vocation. Okay, those came out relatively easy for this deck. Let's see, I almost flipped one over. I didn't. I know you can't see, but I didn't. Gotta have fun with this stuff. That's how you get the right cards most of the time. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods override. A place for everything. And everything in its place. Put all where it belongs. In time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. My beloved gods, what's going on? Lower 3 chakras in our work. So much easier when it's one of my signs. What's going on? Lower 3 chakra dominant, first level of power, survival, intuition. What's going on? Lower 3 chakras in our career, please, my beloved gods. And what's going on in lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus in our vocation? Nope. For this timeless Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign crosswatcher. Work, career, vocation read. All right, here we go. Now the archetypes are in the the archetypes are in the no, sorry, kidding. The archetypes are in the title, so this does not shock me at all for Libras. Let's start with the archetype, shall we? At work, we're damseling again. Oh dear. Well, we are ruled by Venus, Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, hovering around her see-through nighty. Written on the card here is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. I call this lead, I call this gold. 3 atoms in between the two. Lead is heavier and toxic that have to be released, transformed. They can't be created or destroyed, only changed. It's just a natural law of science there. So the lead of the damsel, the shadow, waiting for a knight to provide for you, and that's K-N-I-G-H-T. It's not a J-Lo reference, just to clarify. Seduction by romantic illusions. Have I been there? Yes. Yes. It doesn't matter what gender you are, you can damsel. Right? Now, this is definitely a romantic kind of card, but hang in there, the light. Understanding the nature of healthy romance. So if there's an office romance thing going on here, I think that addresses this, but inspires you to rely on yourself. That's very, very powerful, because relying upon ourselves in any of the feminine archetypes is about trusting not necessarily what we feel. Feelings are not always necessarily facts, but to really go with our intuition, right? Very, very important. We'll get back to that. On the inside, we got a Capricorn card here. When you get a court card inside, it's probably part of your chart. Capricorn, this is the Crone of Cups, White Buffalo Woman, Cardinal Earth, definitely Capricorn. Slow and steady wins the race. Creative Earth, Cardinal Earth, Libra is creative air. So yeah, slow and steady wins the race. The mountain goat climbing up the mountain step by step, but always reaching the peak there. If you don't have any planets in Capricorn, then definitely look, if you have your natal chart, what's going on in your 10th house. Highest potential. Now, highest potential sounds lovely. It sounds like a motivational seminar like catchphrase. But the truth is that if we knew our highest, not just highest potential, we would freak. Like, that's happened to a lot of visionaries and prophets and, people throughout history. They see their highest potential and they run like hell because the ego is not ready for it yet, right? So this is a more slow and steady climb there. And with the 6 of Swords on the outer here, there is, it feels like, some healthy communication, moving from choppy water to smooth. Now, I will say, being that I am moving, I'm moving all of it, my work career and my vocation, right? That the conversations that I'm having, I'm learning so much. And sometimes I do feel like a damsel, I would let down my hair, but I just watched it. No, right? So I told you, Venus and Libra here. So, but that bodes very well. That means that there is a healthy mental balance. 6s in numerology are signs of harmony and balance. So there is a forward motion here. And if there is something romantic going on here, look, I don't get paid for my work. I get paid for my career. In work, I am a president and a producer. I don't make money from that. I make money from doing this stuff, right? My mystical art and healing and all that kind of stuff. So I could see that, as I'm going to be the new witch in town up in Saratoga Springs. I'm going to be doing readings at the Magic Moon on Phila Street. That's Phila in Saratoga Springs. So You're kidding me. Oh, this is in the title. You guys knew this before I did. How dare you? Oh, wow. Okay, but you don't know the other cards. The Prince. You can have an archetypal reason, a season, or a lifetime. I am a prince in my family. I call my parents Zeus and Hera, right? the king and the queen, a masculine family archetype, but it's not about gender. So let me read you this one, the shadow attribute. See if you can see it in me. No, really, try. Using power for self-aggrandizement. I've done it. I've done it. That's why I don't take myself so fucking seriously anymore. It's a trap, right? But the light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power. And you know what sucks about that? I'm gay and it mostly works on women. It's like, oh. I am safe space. Lesbians love me. Nobody trying to touch nobody's stuff. I am your sister that came back as a mister to figure out, man, and I'm still working on it. Well, and that makes sense with the card criticism. The Nine of Blades, which would be the Nine of Swords on the inner. Definitely overthinking. Libras here. Some kind of schemata there. But yeah, oh, I didn't say the light attribute, did I? Yeah, no, did I? Romantic charm and potential for power. Yeah, we've got the damsel and the prince. It's essentially Cinderella on the table here. Uh-oh, Piscatios. Look, one thing I can say, I'm so glad I'm a Virgo because we've got that critical mind. We will go in for the details. That's why all the arrows here are focusing inward, not that usual, you know, Nine of Swords and Rider-Waite Tarot, right? So it's not just getting to the heart of the matter, it's focusing in, like critical math, a critical care unit, right? It's like every single detail is important there, but of course along with that can come obsessive overthinking, looping, and all of that, particularly when we've got the moon in the lower three chakras, Hecate, my crone of the crossroads, the goddess of witches, with Cerebrus, good boy, good boy, good boy. Definitely, you're not going to be able to find your way through intellectually, I would think, in the career right now, but it's all about your intuition. Are things cloudy? Yeah, they're cloudy for everybody. Major Arcana card in a reading like this usually covers that chakric zone. In this case, the lower three chakras. I'm going to say that your best bet is not to overthink this too much, but to go with what feels right in the chakric voices of the root sacrum and the solar plexus. It takes a while to learn them. I know, for example, my second chakra goes, the answer is no. If my solar plexus goes, the answer is no. And if the root chakra says, get me the fuck out of here, we leave, right? It's taken me years to develop them, but that's the thing about intuition. Intuition is not a gift, it's a skill. Everybody has it, but skills can be honed, refined, etc. And, you know, with that romantic charm, right? Nothing wrong with a little flirtation in the right context. I know the world has changed, but certainly a lot of romance has to do with courtesy and calmness, and compassion even can bring passion to the situation. If this is a romantic read, wouldn't be shocked. But don't try and base it on the external facts alone. In fact, really, really, really look at this incredibly closely. Because criticism, yes, can also be and that can happen too with anybody, let alone an air sign. But with that Six of Swords, it feels like that's going to help balance that out. So look to your work, career, vocation in the physical world. When you come to that place, I don't know, but I can't, you know what I mean, with that Prince vibe. That archetype is Prince, and it is funky, and when it comes to funk, he is a junkie. Oh, Jesus. Mary J. We've got the Addict archetype. This just came up for Virgo in the career, and I will tell you, as part of what I do and have done for many, many, many decades now, I have dealt with people struggling with addictive patterns. Though I am not a psychological or drug counselor, I am a spiritual counselor, and I have lots of people I can refer people to when that line gets approached. Just saying. So let me read you what's on this. I know, it sounds horrible, right? Just like the prince and the damsel sound good, but in their shadow, they're a little icky. A lot of icky. So the addict in its light is just as brilliant and important as the shadow is. So the shadow addict compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit in the spiritual lane, in your vocation. Now, I will tell you, compromising honesty, you can't heal. There is no healing without truth. Liars can't heal, and healers don't lie. As soon as you start lying to yourself even, you stopped healing in that moment. I know it sounds a little harsh, but think about it. It's true, right? That's why gaslighting and all that stuff has boiled to the surface these past bunch of years into the collective conscious, not just swimming around the collective unconscious. Why? Because the gold is worth it. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. And because this is work, career, vocation, this might be you are in a stage of training, dealing with addicts. Everybody's got an addiction. An addiction is just a preference that if it is not met, there is suffering. I got that from the Handbook for Higher Consciousness, Ken Keyes, back in the 80s. I've been doing this a while, folks. So, keep that in mind. Everybody's got their chains of pain that they are in. And what's so interesting is what's underneath that is another court card, a water sign, Pisces, Mami Watu, the Maiden of Cups. This would be this is King of Pentacles, Capricorn. This is Knight of Cups. Definitely a romantic figure in the tarot, but as a Pisces moon myself, I'm like, yeah, I got it. And Pisces are the mystics and the addicts, but if you go towards the mystic and you can endure mystery and not knowing, which it seems like is what's going on here in the center lane, then you need not try and avoid and sidestep that pain through addictions of any way, shape, or form. I know people who are addicted to being right, because when they're finally proven wrong, they go through withdrawal. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's not pretty, right? So we all have them. So there's definitely an emotional, I would say definitely heart chakra thing here that's probably your way through this, to allow yourself to feel the full spectrum. Emotional freedom doesn't mean freedom from uncomfortable or painful emotions. It means the freedom to feel all of it without burning down or flooding the village, right? Or doing harm. You allow yourself the freedom to feel it, to like water, have it pass through you. And it is the 12th house dynamic. Like I already know, I got a Pisces moon, 8th house, great fun there. Definitely allows me to do this work, but also makes me an empath on a level where I'm feeling everybody's everything unless I am aware of it and choose to do otherwise. Dolphin and shark there, very familiar with it. So check your 12th house, or if you have any planets in Pisces, this would definitely be an emotional way to heal and at least be really, really clear. Like, if you know you're dealing, you could be an addict. You know you're dealing with an addict archetype when there are certain behaviors that you used to talk yourself out of paying attention to, where if you're really paying attention with what you're feeling, you know if something's off, pull back, go in. And you can still deal with this with great charm, right? Because it's a choice. The Two of Flames, the Two of Wands, Jason and the Argonauts, choosing whether or not to take the quest for the return of the Golden Fleece issued by Zeus, or just keep on walking. He's standing outside the cave of Chiron, the wounded healer in Greek mythology, a centaur. Obviously he chooses to take the path that when the issue to the hero's journey is called, we do have a choice. But when the hero rejects the call to the hero's journey, things don't go well. Sand people, just saying. So, look, is this a challenge? Sure. But what I like about it is there's only one major arcana card, right? And it's in your career, it's in our career. So this very well could be a romantic thing that has some addictive patternings in it, depending on how, again, in a general read with cross-watching and all of that going on. But I would say the more you are able to really, really trust that your lower three chakras are not going to lie to you. You may misinterpret the voice. That's okay. We all do. It's a learning curve for all of us, right? But with this, in your physical world, in the work, with your really coming closer into your highest potential here, and then that damsel and that prince are alchemized, and they're a lot more playful, a lot more fun, and you can have a romance with your work and your career. I have a romance with all three of mine because I love what I do. too. Yeah. So, let's get this last card on the table. It's a good read. Matt Kahn Healing Mantra. I mean, it's got a little drama in it, but, you know, Libra is what you're going to do. Matt Kahn Healing Mantra. Like I said, okay, cross watchers, here we go. Pay attention. Let's get this card on the table. And remember, by working this, you're helping all of us, including me. Thanks. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm having fun, though. Still quiet. Ascended Masters override. A place for everything. And everything in its place, including across the table. It's part of the shuffling process. Put all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra to help us, Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers alchemize our shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, shifting from illusion to truth, fulfilling our life purpose and our work, career, vocation as the Damsel, Prince, Addict. That sounds like fun. For this timeless work, career, vocation reading. Releasing expectations, only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. Just used this morning like 100 times, it feels like. Releasing expectations. Expectations are the seeds of disappointment and heartbreak. So if this is a romantic read, it is, of course, our assumption. It is always an assumption and expectation because there's an infinite number of quantum timelines stemming off from every choice we make, blah, blah, blah. Please don't make me do quantum math. Regular math is tricky enough. I'm very verbal. You know, I'm going to read it from the bookie book, but this one really works, but you got to work it, right? Like, I remember it while I'm deep in it. I'm like, why didn't I catch it sooner? And you know what? Little by little, I am catching it sooner. Like, I see it coming, right? I walked down the street, I fell into a hole, blah, blah, blah. If you know what I'm talking about, you better hit that thumbs up button, because, you know, that's the human condition, not the divine condition, and we are where the falling angel meets the rising ape. Thank you, Terry Pratchett. Where are you? Releasing expectations. Only the highest possibilities come to be, whether I envision them or not. When you release expectations, it is no longer your job to be in control of reality. Yeah, as if. Cher Horowitz. You are a soul birthed from the fabric of destiny where only the perfection of universal will takes shape and form. Well, from the soul's perspective, sure. But, you know, human life, it's really hard to see that 9 times out of 10. Once expectations are released, a life beyond your wildest imagination is given permission to enter your reality. Look, I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer. I'm supposed to have an argument prepared and ready for anything, as well as to know what the curriculum is. And have you done your homework, Mr. Lyons? You know, the whole 9. I'm a Virgo. I can be really hard on myself that way, so my expectations often are high. But I inherited that, not just from my family, but from ancestral patterning going back thousands and thousands of lifetimes, and society itself. So be gentle with this. I think that's why that Prince thing is kind of lightening that up a bit. The mantra is ideal for having more faith, because everybody has faith. It's just, where do you spend it? Lead or gold, right? Learning how to trust. Trust in who? Trust in what? That there's a larger something going on that we're playing a part in that we don't know about. Particularly with the moon card, that could be helpful. And alleviating disappointment. Because expectations, yes, there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want. But we always get what we need, and we don't always get what we want. Mick Jagger. That's in my head. No worries. But oftentimes when we get what we want, it happens to be what we need, we think we did it, right? No, it wasn't the universe, I did that, right? And then if we got what we needed, but it's not what we wanted, we think we did something wrong, and that we're bad, or that we screwed up, and that ain't true either. This allows you to kind of release a lot of that stuff and take this journey. And I would say with this 6 of Swords here, this mantra looks like it could be very harmonizing and very balancing. Just saying. So, We got our cards on the table. Let's do a blessimation, a blessing and a summation. And then we'll talk about cool stuff on the other side of it if you want to hang around for that. Silver plate. Nanny Og. Let's put you there. I'm a Virgo. Hold on. We'll get there. One last time, please. Take a nice deep breath. Still point. Let us end as we began. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons on behalf of us Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need to alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to gold, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy, our fear to love, shifting from illusion to truth in our work, career, vocation, by understanding the nature of healthy romance and learning how to rely upon ourselves as we discover and embrace our highest potential. We may not get to the top of the mountain today, but it's there. Slow and steady wins the race. Cardinal Earth with our cardinal air in place on a mental journey of harmony and balance. By the way, moving from choppy water to smooth feels very healing to me. And so that in our career, we can embrace our romantic charm and potential for power while we keep an eye, perhaps on the critical details going by, maybe really bringing things down to an extremely fine point of information. Definitely third eye can be very creative, but can also be very, very, very overthinky, particularly with the moon. Cloudy with a chance on mystic meatballs in terms of what's ahead of us in our career, but we can feel it out. We can pay attention. We can learn the language of these intuitive lower three chakras, allowing an emotion, a feeling to inform us rather than overdoing the mind, because yes, Eckhart Tolle says everyone is pretty much addicted to thinking. Yeah, so may we be blessed with what we need, helping us to recognize and confront addictive behavior in ourselves or others as we feel this out with the mutable water of Pisces. 12th house dynamic, totally empathic, the collective unconscious itself, the river Styx, the bridge between the upper world and the underworld there, that subconscious vibe there. And there is a choice for us to make here about how we want to do this, and that's a good thing because it's our choice. But if we can release expectations, if we can really accept that only the highest possibilities come to be, whether we envision them or not, then we can relax a little bit. We don't have to be so stressed. We don't have to be so worried. We can trust that there is a higher plan in play, and whether we call it the divine plan, the quantum golden timeline, whatever we may call it, it's calling us. So may we be blessed with all that we need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to be the best that we can be, fulfilling our work, career, and vocation. To become happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser, Libras, etc. In a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way. For a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world. For the well-being of all. With harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. So it is. That was a lovely finish, wasn't it? If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. If you want, there I'm damseling, because if you do that, you're gonna really help me out. There's the prince. Do it, please. No, that's the Addict. I do have fun doing what I'm doing, so if you want more of me here on YouTube, I'm good, but I have a sense of humor about myself, knock wood. Feel free to subscribe and notification bell and comment and all of that stuff. It really just helps other Libras and cross-watchers find the read at this point, because I'm over on Patreon, and that's my main focus, I won't lie. They're getting a lot of behind the scenes. A lot of them stopped by the house already, the ones that live locally, and took some stuff. I'm like, here, take it. I'm trying to cut my load in half before I move upstate. And I love it so much. Patreon, the daily check-ins, I love doing. That they have access to all the extended readings is wonderful. So even if I did the extended reading, they're all timeless, right? 5 years ago or whatever. Someone who signs up today could have access and get what they need from it. I love that. And I love that they all get an extensive discount on private sessions with me. We've been doing some of them in person if they're locally. We've been doing a lot of them recorded on Zoom. That's part of the price. And that's why they get that discount, is because they're helping me do what I love. Whether they are a $1 seeker or a $20 God Goddess, they're there for me, and they all get that. We also have Seeker and Human as 7-day free trials if you want to check us out for a week. There's the store. There's just so much cool stuff going on there. So if you feel so called, if you feel so drawn, just check out for yourself should you ever want to be a creator. And then come Patreon on Patreon with or without the Archangel of Lions, Markangela Lions, which you can call me Mal. Yeah, no, that's the Shadow Prince right there, ain't it? So seriously, what a cool read though. And you know, I'm not going to say there's not a romantic vibe in here. There is. I mean, two very romantic. I mean, the word romance is on the Damsel card and the Prince card, but with the Addict there, fly in the ointment much? So, you know, release your expectations and really pay attention. I'm going to say your leverage is in your career somehow. Be comfortable with mystery. It's okay to not know when we do not know, but you know, that's a really, really hard thing. Did you ever get a gold star for not knowing the answer? No, me neither. Go fig, right? Neither has anybody for thousands of years. Gold stars existed in the sky back then, but whatever. So seriously, I love you. We can do this. Come on. And cross-watchers help out. Do the mantra. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed with all of this manifesting our work, career, and vocation. Hang in there. I love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.